So, good evening, everyone. So, I welcome you back to this next session of Ahom Barta, the February edition, which has recently been unrevealed. So, today we'll go into the depth analysis of this Ahom Barta of February edition, where we'll discuss various issues associated with the news that was currently in news. As we all know, Ahom Barta is published by the government of Assam with every aims and aspirations that the government of Assam wants to take with respective to the state. Okay, so without any delay, we'll start with the analysis of this Ahom Barta. Please be ready with your pen and paper so that you can write some of the important discussions which I will say in the respective topics. Okay. So the first thing says about chief ministers unveil state's growth path. Okay, so we can see that recently we have celebrated the Republic Day on 26th January. Okay, and in the speech given by the chief minister of Assam, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma, he focused on the development of this respective state in various aspects. Okay, so in this whole paragraph, so we could see that the main association of this paragraph, because we know that this time it was the 74th Republic Day. So this is very important. Okay, that which Republic Day was celebrated recently. So it was 74th. Now coming to this area, that is over here. So focus on youth. He announced a sum of rupees 3,000 crore in the next state budget for their self-employment, while reiterating that it will fulfill its target of providing 1 lakh government jobs to youth in the respective state. Okay, so ইয়াতে 3,000 crore যিটো allocation কৰিছে in the next, যিটো কৰিব allocation in the next state budget for their self-employment, will reiterate it that it will fulfill its target of providing 1 lakh government jobs to the youth in the state. ইয়াতে সবতকে বেছি important thing in this paragraph is basically this date, which is March 31, which has been marked as Students' Day. Please remember, এইটো কিবা এক্সামত, be it third grade, fourth grade, be it in the APSC, I am damn sure that this particular thing will be asked. Okay, March 31, which will be marked as Students' Day. And in Assam, it will be in the memory of whom? Upendranath Brahmo, sorry, popularly called as Bodo. Okay, so who is this person, Upendranath Brahmo? So this, he was an Indian Boro social activist, and he was also the former president of the All Boro Students Union, which is known as ABSU. Okay, so he was born on this very date of 31st March in 1956 in the district of Kokrajhar today. Okay, so he was basically a writer and also an students leader. Okay, so please do remember his two important works. Okay, since Upendranath Brahmo is in news, therefore it becomes very important to know about the notable works performed by this particular person. So what is the two important notable works? He has been going with this why separate state, the first notable work of him, and the second one is the Boroland Times. Okay, the Boroland Times. So these two are very important in the context of Upendranath Brahma. Okay, he has been awarded with an award which is known as Bodofa, Bodafa. Okay, Bodofa means what? Bodofa means the guardian of the Boros. Okay, so it's a Boro term. Bodofa means guardian of the Boros. So therefore, he is popularly called as Bodofa. Okay, so please make it important the elements associated with this person, Upendranath Brahma. Okay, so therefore, even we have seen that there is a particular like he died out of cancer. Okay, and therefore we can see that there was a particular burial in his particular district of Totoma where he was born. Okay, and that particular burial area is known as Thulungapuri. Okay, this is also very important. Okay, Thulungapuri, which is basically the ground where Brahma was buried and is today known as Thulungapuri. Okay, so all these things are very important in this respective aspect. Also, there we can find a 21 foot tall, which is around 6.4 meter, bronze statue of him, which was unveiled in Kokrajhar on the 10th anniversary of this particular person. So he died around 1990s. So we can see that by the time of 2000, this particular type of structure or this statue, bronze statue, is being unveiled in Kokrajhar. So this is some of the aspects which we see with respective to this person, Upendranath Brahma. Okay, then Dr. Sama informed that the gathering of the state sports policy in this year, Independence Day Sports Festival Hobo 2023. Okay, then it will cover nearly 25,000 revenue villages. Okay, then the Krira Mahotsav will culminate in the state's capital. Okay, at a Krira Mahotsav Hobo. Then we could see that he urged the Alpha Independent to return to the mainstream, which he said will facilitate transformation of the Assam into an island of peace. Okay, so from the time period of 1970s of 1980s, today Assam is more peaceful as compared to that times. So therefore, he was urging the respective Alpha leaders, basically Paresh Boruaji. So he was urging this particular person to come towards the mainstream, so that we can see that here this state directly comes into the peacefulness in amongst all the respective states of this particular northeast. Okay, so in this scenario we could see that everywhere such number of conditions can be seen with respective to this state. Okay, so also he talks about the respective satras, that is the Vaishnavite monasteries. So when I come around the satra, so what is basically this satra? So satras are institutional centers which are associated with the Ekaharna tradition of Vaishnavism. Okay, and largely found in the state of Assam today. Okay, so we have got hundreds of hotras. Okay, where we could see that under the control of individual adhikaris or satradhikaris, this particular satras directly functions. Okay, so if I go to some of the greater depth of this satra structure, so please do remember that Satra is generally a four-sided enclosed area with four gateways. So what are these gateways called as? These gateways are called as Korapats. Okay, Karapats, Korapats. So it's a four-sided enclosed area with four gateways. Centrally placed, there is an enclosure in a rectangular shaped prayer hall, which we known as Namghar or Kirtan Ghar. Okay, and that will be aligned in what? East-west direction. So, jot ami Kirtan Ghar to dekho, so it is obviously facing towards the east. We all know that. On this eastern side, there is an additional independent structure which is called as Monikut, or it is told as the jewel house. That is the sanctum sanctorum. Okay, so in this respective arena, we can see that the main object of worship, that is the Bhagavad Purana, is directly kept. Okay, so therefore now this Namghar is to be surrounded by four straight rows of huts, which are called as Hati, in which these Bhakots reside. Okay, so therefore you can see that all such number of hotras today, that what what Assam have. Okay, so many hotras are in dilapidated conditions. Bahut kini hotra ki hoy? Situations bilak, hotras bilakor ki asile, because the government did not take care of these hotras, we can see that slowly and slowly this hotras today directly goes into a dilapidated conditions. So therefore today the Chief Minister of Assam is very much focused to even have this hotras well established, and also we know that these hotras are encroached by various number of foreigners, okay, who are basically coming in from the nearby country of Bangladesh. So therefore yate jimankhini amar hotrar mati ase hekinik encroach kori pelai jikhiniye tekherokole ahi pelai yate bohobas korise, he encroachments khini yate eviction korabole yate eta principle loise kune? Our respected Chief Minister. Okay, so yate hetu kothai kole. Then we could see about to present the state rich culture below the world, a massive event is being planned on April 14, marking the Assamese New Year. Mane Rongali Bihur kotha koi ase. Anywhere between 10,000 to 15,000 Dhulias, who are drum players and Nasonis, will assemble on a Bihu performance aiming to enter the Guinness Book of World Records. So এটা Guinness Book of World Record কৰিবলৈ কিমানখিনি নাচনি আৰু কিমানখিনি ঢুলীয়া আহিব ইয়াতে 10,000 to 15,000 ঢুলীয়াজ and নাচনিজ. So এইটো এটা আমাৰ বহুত important aspect হৈ যায় with respective to this particular thing which is known as the that is to enter into the Guinness Book of World Record. Okay, now even you can see that his piece also covered the recent nomination of the Choraido Modems as the World Heritage Site and the rapid transformation of the Botroba Than. So we all know that is the birthplace of Srimanta Sankardev. Okay, you can find this in Bordua, that is in the Nagaon district. Okay, then also announced an allocation of 300 crores for building a corridor at Kamakhya Temple in Guwahati on the lines of Kashi Vishwanath corridor in Varanasi. Okay, so teneke etuk koribo. Then we can see the redevelopment of the areas around historic Ronghor in Sibsagar district. Okay, and he spoke for the functioning of the health service utsav. Janeke gunotsav patile kune education department e teneke health service or karne tekhetokale health service eta utsav patibo, which will be evaluated even with the respective government hospitals, district hospitals, state dispensaries, primary health centers, community health centers. এই গোটেই হোপাক ইয়াতে এটা এটা ডেভেলপমেণ্টৰ আৰু এইটো প্ৰগ্ৰেছ কৰাবলৈ লক্ষ্য ৰাখি পেলাই ইয়াতে এটা উৎসৱ পাতা যাব। অ'কে, চ' দিছ আৰ দ্য থিংছ দেট হেজ বিন ডিছকাছড বাই দ্য চিফ মিনিষ্টাৰ ইন হিজ ৰিপাব্লিক ডে স্পীচ। অ'কে, so this is the musings of chief minister. Yate iman kobolagia eku nai. We'll go to the next. So Ganga Vilas to change northeast waterway scene. Okay, so recently we have seen that Ganga Vilas ahi pelai Guwahati palehi. Yesterday it came into Guwahati, and therefore it has remained in Guwahati to until 28th of this February. We can see Ganga Vilas will directly reach its destination, which is basically Dibrugarh. So Bogibilor also rokhibo. Okay, and we can see this is Ganga Vilas. যিমানখিনি ইয়াতে ছুইচ ট্ৰেভেলাৰ আছে, বেচিকেলি গোটেইখিনি ফৰেনাৰ্ছ আছে অবভিয়াছলি। চ' দিছ গংগা বিলাছৰ যিখিনি ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট এছপেক্ট হয়, এই গংগা বিলাছটো যে নিউজত আছে, ইউ কেন ফাইণ্ড এনিথিং কেন কাম উইথ ৰেচপেক্টিভ টু গংগা বিলাছ। I am saying anything. Okay, so we all know that Ganga Vilas is the world's longest river cruise, and it's a new luxury river cruise which is vesseled with 18 suites and all other associated facilities. তো এইটো কেতিয়া কনফাৰেন্স কৰিছিলে থ্ৰু ভিডিঅ' কনফাৰেন্স এইবিলাক কেতিয়া ইনগ্ৰেট কৰিছিলে অন জানুৱাৰী 13। চ' দিছ ডেট ইজ অলছ' ভেৰি ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট, জানুৱাৰী 13। অ'কে, চ' ইয়াতে এই গংগা বিলাছখনৰ ইটছ আ লংগেষ্ট ৰিভাৰ ভয়েজ ইন দ্য ৱৰ্ল্ড। কৰ পৰা আহিব? Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh to around Dibrugarh in Assam via Bangladesh. আৰু ইয়াতে 32 জন ছুইচ ট্ৰেভেলাৰ আছে ছুইজাৰলেণ্ড। অ'কে, আৰু এই ভয়েজটোত টোটেল কি কি এক্সপিৰিয়েঞ্চ কৰিব এই ট্ৰেভেলাৰ্ছবিলাকে? দে উইল এক্সপিৰিয়েঞ্চ দ্য জাৰ্নি ইন টু লাক্সাৰী, আৰ্ট, কালচাৰ, হিষ্টৰী, স্পিৰিচুৱেলিটি এণ্ড মাছ মোৰ দেন হোৱাট উই আৰ থিংকিং। কাৰণ ইয়াতে আমি কি আনি আছো? ইয়াতে আমি আনি আছো ফৰেন ডাইৰেক্ট ইনভেষ্টমেণ্টছ। So these people who are basically traveling from one place to the other in this whole respective route, they will directly try to make more and more investments in these respective areas, so that we have the plan to develop each and every port areas, and we have to utilize this respective waterway, which is basically coming under the inland waterway, and thereby we are projecting to connect the national waterway 1 with the national waterway 2. এইটো আমাৰ মেইন লক্ষ্য আছে কানেক্ট কৰাৰ উইথ ৰেচপেক্টিভলি টু দ্য প্ৰট'কল ৰুট অফ বাংলাদেশ। অ'কে, তো সেইটো কাৰণে গংগা বিলাছ বহুত বেছি নিউজত আছিলে। চ' এনিথিং কেন কাম উইথ ৰেচপেক্টিভ টু দিছ গংগা বিলাছ। অ'কে, চ' প্লিজ ডু ৰিমেম্বাৰ এবাউট দিছ গংগা বিলাছ টুৰ্ছ। অ'কে, আৰু এটা বস্তু ইয়াত মনত ৰাখিব লগা বস্তু হয় দেট দিছ ক্ৰুজ, যিটো মই অকণমান কিছুমান ডাটাছ দি দিওঁ ইয়াতে, সেইবিলাক বস্তু গম পাবা। আই জাষ্ট চেঞ্জ দ্য কালাৰ। অ'কে, তো মই জাষ্ট ডাটাটো দি দিছোঁ, ইয়াতে চাই লোৱা। লাইক ইউ কেন চি দেট এই ক্ৰুজটোৰ টোটেল ডেজটো কিমান আছিলে? 51 ডেজ। অ'কে, যোনে নাজানা লিখি ল'ব পাৰা। 51 ডেজৰ টোটেল জাৰ্ণি হয়। অ'কে, ইয়াৰ টোটেল কিলোমিটাৰ্ছ কিমান হয়? 3,200 কিলোমিটাৰ্ছ। হোৱাট ইজ দিছ? ইট ইজ দ্য টোটেল লেন্থ অফ দ্য জাৰ্ণি। আৰু কেইটা ৰিভাৰ চিষ্টেম দি ক্ৰছ কৰিব? 27 ৰিভাৰ চিষ্টেমছ। 27 ৰিভাৰ চিষ্টেমছ দি ক্ৰছ কৰিব। Okay, and how many states we can find? It will consider 5 Indian states. Okay, also it includes the Bangladeshi ones. Okay, now it includes some of the 50 tourist destinations. 50 tourist destinations. আৰু এই 50 tourist destinations কি আছে? Even a respective World Heritage Sites, national parks, river ghats, and major cities such as Patna in Bihar, Sahibganj in Jharkhand, Kolkata in West Bengal, Dhaka in Bangladesh, and Guwahati in Assam. So therefore, this is the routes through which this MV Ganga Vilas will directly pass through. Okay, so therefore, please do remember this particular cruise ship, okay, that will directly have an access on this respective route, and therefore these routes and these respective areas are very, very important with respective to this travel. Because if you see the regions which is basically coming under the ambience of this respective route, so all routes, all respective areas are crucially important even for India's aim to develop the northeastern regions in the coming times. because we know that right after 2014, slowly and slowly, India acted towards the Act East policy rather than looking only towards the East. So this is the first step why we can see that this is directly focused towards improving the communication sector of this respective Northeast via the river routes. Okay, so etu karone this MB Ganga Vilas is very, very important, and therefore it was in news. Okay, so please do remember. Next, we all know about G20, which is getting organized, which will be organized in our country by September 2023. Okay, so therefore we can see that G20 is an important aspect, and it will directly showcast India's image and growing India's image in the world forum. Okay, so G20 is a very important and a revolutionary, and today we can directly say that 2023 is a revolutionary year for India. Okay, 2023 মানে এটা মানে বহুত ডাঙৰ ইয়াৰ হয় য'ত ইণ্ডিয়াই নিজৰ যিটো গ্লোবাল ৰিচ হয় সেইটো সবকে দেখাব. Okay, bypassing some of its enemy country like Pakistan and also some of the criticizers of this country of India. So আমি ইয়াতে দেখিলো যে ইয়াতে বহুতখিনি সেমিনাৰ্স হৈছে. ইউ কেন সি গুৱাহাটী ক্লক টাৱাৰ that is basically in last gate. Okay, so এইখিনি এৰিয়াত this clock tower, it has been all been seen. Then you can see the flags of all the countries of the G20 members who will directly come to India in September 2023. So A2 Assam Secretariator agot A2 দেখা গৈছে. Okay, so all these things you can see in this respective process. So yate G20 amar basically amar janibo laga ki ase. Yate we have to see that this particular G20 summit, okay, which will be which has hold in this particular Guwahati hoise. Okay, so we can see there are various number of works which will be performed, which was performed in the G20 summit. So yata amar ki important hoi jay. See, ei je pasta theme dekhisa, it will focus on 5 themes. These 5 themes are very, very important. Okay, ki theme: future of work, climate change and disaster risk reduction, peace building and reconciliation, youth in democracy and health, well-being and sports. A pasta the theme hoy, these themes are very important. Okay, so keteba in exams also it can be asked that in Assam a 3-day event was organized with respective to 250 delegates coming from across the world. Which are the focus themes that was discussed under this respective 3-day event? So these 5 focus themes are very important. That is, number 1, future of work, climate change and disaster risk reduction, peace building and reconciliation, youth in democracy and health, well-being and sports. Never forget these 5 themes. I can guarantee you anything with association with these things can come for sure. Or keteba koi dibo pare that which of the following themes are not discussed in the 3-day event that was organized in Assam recently. So yate kumba ta belek humai dile, supposedly yate kiba ta koi dile about supposedly yate koi dile Indian Ocean trade. Kiba ta kotha koi dile dhorila belek eta kotha Indian Ocean trade. Hetur upor kotha patibo yate. Hetu yate amar themot nai. Then obviously that thing goes wrong. So etu karone these themes are very important, and please do remember this all 5 themes: future of work, climate change and disaster risk reduction, peace building and reconciliation, youth in democracy and health, and well-being and sports. So these are the main 5 themes which is associated with this particular article. Eto yate main important article ase. Baki quote patise quote nai pata ebilak amak nalage. Okay, next. Police unrelentingly on drug cartel. So you can see the police capturing all these drugs portals. Okay, they are capturing all these peddlers. So you can see yata like data dise. You can see the number of cases registered 4608. Kiman manu arrest korise, kiman heroin loise, kiman ganja gina, opium, cup syrups, tablets, morphines, poppy straw, metamethapine, then cocaine, cannabis, tramadol, raw opium bud. You can just imagine. Aru yate dekhai ase eta government keneke crush kori ase yate all these particular drugs. Okay, so you have to see estimated value of this one is 1066.29 crore estimated value. Okay, so you can see the respective aspect of this particular drugs that has been captured in this country, in this state. Okay, so just think about the situation of Assam. Okay, basically our a bostu kihor karone iman beshi hoise, it is only because of Assam's proximity towards what? Assam's proximity towards the golden triangle. So this proximity of the Golden Triangle is basically killing the youth of Assam who is getting affected through such number of regions at a proximity. So India's populace is badly affected by this high volume of drugs that is passing through this region. And this problem is further compounded by a porous as well as poorly guarded border, which is enabling the environment for these drug traffickers. তো যদি ভাবি লোৱা যে মই অসমত আহি পেলাই কি ধৰি আছোহি ড্ৰাগছ ধৰি আছো Assam does not have got a direct borders with Myanmar, but still from Myanmar crossing Manipur entering into Assam is also a great deal. তো ইয়াতে আমি কি দেখি আছো লেকুনা অন দি পাৰ্ট অফ দি বৰ্ডাৰ সিকিউৰিটি ফোৰ্স, lacuna on the part of the security forces like Assam Rifles, who are basically guarding the borders. It's a lacuna on the part of Manipur police, Nagaland police, Mizoram police. So therefore today we can see that it could be argued that proper vigil is not being given in these respective areas of Golden Triangle. And therefore we can see all such problem associated with this Golden Triangle coming all the way from the Southeast Asia, coming all the way from regions of the Northeast Asia, Northeast India, and entering ultimately into the country of India. So therefore, this Golden Triangle is directly posing a challenge to the respective, to this respective area of Assam, where such a good number of drugs is getting captured. But still, the government is working very hard to capture every number of drug cartels and every number of drug peddlers who are basically categorizing these drugs from one place to the other in search of some number of illegal weapons. Okay, so that is the thing with respective to this cartel. Next, a new feather in Guwahati's green drive. So it's saying about the green fuel, or it is basically saying about the biofuels. So when I say about biofuels, okay, so we know, please remember that the biofuels are any hydrocarbon fuel that is produced from an organic matter. Okay, that is very important. Okay, so that organic matter may be living or once living material, and it can be produced within a very short period of time. It may be in days, it may be in weeks, and it may be even in months. So that are considered what? Biofuels. So these biofuels can be what? Liquid, solid, and even gaseous. যদি মই সলিড বুলি কওঁ তেতিয়াহ'লে কি হ'ব? উড হ'ব, ড্ৰাইড প্লান্ট মেটেৰিয়েলছ হ'ব, আৰু মেনিয়ৰ্ছ হ'ব। এইবিলাক সলিড বায়োফিউলছ হয়। লিকুইড হ'লে বায়োইথানল এণ্ড বায়োডিজেল, আৰু গেছিয়াছ হ'লে বায়োগেছ। So therefore we can see that there are different categories of biofuels. First generation biofuels ase, second generation biofuels ase. Okay, then you can see about the third generation biofuels also. You can say the example of the butanol. Fourth generation biofuel ase. Okay, so in every criteria today we can see that there are various major types of biofuels that we can see in our country today. আজি বায়োফিউলছত কি কি পৰি আছে? বায়ো ইথানল পৰি আছে, বায়ো ডিজেল পৰি আছে, বায়ো গেছ পৰি আছে, বায়ো বিউটানল পৰি আছে, বায়ো হাইড্ৰোজেন পৰি আছে। So therefore we can see that there are various advantages with respective to these biofuels. কিহৰ কাৰণে? Availability ভাল, কাৰণ আমাৰ ওচৰত বায়োমাছ আছে। The source material is also good because from the residue of the crop waste, manure, and other byproducts we can make biofuels. Okay, also it directly reduces environmental pollution. Okay, economic situations can be balanced well. Okay, if the countries are directly fighting with each other with terms of the liter of oil barrels. Okay, but ইয়াতে আমাৰ disadvantages আছে কিছুমান, কাৰণ এটা cost factor to বাঢ়ি যায়, efficiency কমি যায়। Okay, we can see even the water is basically used in mass quantities. Okay, which is directly য'ত scarcity of water থাকে তাত ইমান biofuels বনিব নোৱাৰিব। But today we can see that slowly and slowly India is leveraging its particular arena of shifting its process of going with this particular clean energy. So yate hetu karone ami dekhisu je even the chief minister has directly made this particular move so as to create some of the greener fuels. Okay, even just like CNG. So CNG to ki asile? CNG is basically a natural gas compressed under pressure. Okay, and it is a fuel gas mainly composed of methane. Okay, so CNG hetu hoy. So CNG is compressed to a pressure of around 200 to 250 gram per centimeter square, and it occupies less than 1% of its volume in atmospheric pressure. So therefore we can see that CNG to বহুত খিনি benefits আছে, আৰু হেতু কাৰণে আমি CNG to eco friendly হিচাপে মানো. So that's what I have said, that CNG is basically a natural gas which is compressed under pressure so that more of it occupies lesser volume in the fuel tank. and therefore it mainly composed of what? CH4, that is methane. So therefore yate hetu karone ami dekhisu that we can see that the government of Assam is basically focused towards like means towards having a good number of this particular CNG buses, so that we can have less reliance on the fossil fuels vehicles, okay, which are basically diesel vehicles or buses which are today plying on the roads with a very heavy hands. Okay, তো সেইটো কাৰণে আমাৰ এটা লক্ষ্য আছে নেট জিৰ' কাৰ্বন এমিশ্যনৰ, আমাৰ প্ৰাইম মিনিষ্টাৰে কৈছিলে বাই 2070. So obviously every state should directly come up with the effort to make India carbon neutral by around 2070. সেইটো কাৰণে it's some of the steps that have been taken. Next, coming to this Soraido Moidams in the quest of history. So now when I talk about the Soraido Moidams, yate ami dekhi asu recently there has been various number of effort by the Assam government to name this Soraido heritage as one of the World Heritage Sites. Okay, আৰু সেইটো কাৰণে বহুত লাগি আছে আৰু এটা টাইমত হ'ব গয়ো. Okay, because Indian government is also very interested with this particular Soraido Moidams. Okay, and even you can see what about said by Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma. Okay, so now if I say about this Soraido Moidams, so Soraido Moidams represents what? It represents the late medieval, that is around 13th to 19th century CE, mound burials traditions of the Tai Ahom community of Assam. So it enshrines what? It enshrines the moral remains of the members of the Ahom royalty who used to be buried with this paraphernalia. That is one particular type of headrex, that is where the body is kept. So after this 18th century, the Ahom rulers adopted the Hindu method of cremation and began entombing the cremated bodies and ashes into moidams at Soraido. So today, out of 386 moidams explored so far, 90 royal barriers at Soraido are the best preserved, which representative of the most complete examples of mound burial traditions of the Ahoms. Okay, so therefore today we can see that here, so with the government aiming to go ahead with the process of making this as one of the World Heritage Site, may attract a good number of foreigners, tourists to visit such places, and we can directly make Assam to be a destination for all such number of tourists who is visiting such number of mound burials. Okay, so it has been compared with the pyramids of the Egypt. So tenuka type hole, obviously we will directly earn a lot many number of revenue, and also this respective district may grow in near terms if I am directly going ahead with the process of going ahead with this particular UNESCO World Heritage Site. Okay, so yate eta kotha koa goise about the last line. At present there is no site for the region in the country's 32 World Heritage Sites as cultural. Okay, so if I see about today World Heritage Sites in India, so as যদি মই কম, there are around 40 World Heritage Sites in India. মই কৈছো 40. Okay, so we all know that the first site listed as a World Heritage Site in India was the Agra Fort. কেতিয়া কৰিছিলে? 1983. Okay, and the same year even Taj Mahal came, Ajanta Caves came, Ellora Caves came. So এইবিলাক আহিলে. Okay, and we can see that in the recent times various number of categories of World Heritage Sites has been given. Okay, so supposedly World Heritage Sites can be in any place. Island ho pare, lake ho pare, forest ho pare, monument ho pare, ekhon desert ho pare, eta building ho pare. Okay, but we could see that today every number of World Heritage Sites that we see in our country respectively. Okay, so yate amar bahut khini ase ki natural World Heritage Sites ase. Okay, then we have got the World Heritage Sites which is basically said to be cultural. So enuka bahut dhoroner ami ki pai asu, we can see that our World Heritage Sites are in plenty. So now when this World Heritage Sites has been discussed today, okay, so yate amar essential hoi jay ki bostu, the World Heritage Sites that we can see in our country. So therefore today there are natural World Heritage Sites. Supposedly if I say about the Kaziranga National Park, if I say about the Manas National Park, so ebilak ki hoi jay, ebilak natural World Heritage Sites hoi jay. Okay, there are also cultural World Heritage Sites. Okay, amar ki ase cultural World Heritage Sites ase. So cultural World Heritage Sites is basically saying about the things which is associated with this one, jitu ami dekhu, like this one, like the Dholavira, okay, like the Run of Kutch. So okay, so in every circumstances we can see that all this respective elements of natural World Heritage Sites today we have seen in our country. Also cultural World Heritage Sites includes like the Dholavira. Okay, then we can see the Jaipur city. Okay, then we can see the hill forts of Rajasthan. Then we can see the Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus, that is the railway station of Mumbai. Okay, then we can see the Elephanta Caves. Okay, then we can see Fatehpur Sikri. Then we can see the Agra Fort, Sun Temple, group of monuments at Hampi, Taj Mahal. তো এইবিলাক কি হয়? Cultural significance or World Heritage Sites হয়. যদি মই কওঁ Natural World Heritage Sites, Manas, যিটো মই ক'লো, কাজিৰঙা ক'লো. Okay, then we have got this Kela Deo Ghana National Park, which is in Rajasthan. Then Western Ghats, natural হয়. Great Himalayan National Park, Himachal Pradeshত আছে. Nanda Devi National Park and Valley of Flowers, Uttarakhand. Sundarbans, West Bengal, natural হয়. Okay, also if I see about some of the World Heritage Sites which are basically mixed. Okay, mixed কি হয়? Components of both natural and cultural importance are included. আৰু ইয়াত আমাৰ এখনে আছে which is known as the Kanchenjunga National Park, which is basically in Sikkim. আৰু ইয়াক notified কৰিছিলে 2016ত. So therefore today we have got all these respective sites in total 40, including all natural, cultural and mixed. So এটো গৈ পেলাই আমাৰ কিমান হৈ গৈ 40 World Heritage Sites হয় in our country. Okay, and basically in Assam we have got two, that is Manas and Kaziranga. তো এতিয়া আমি থাৰ্ড নম্বৰটো সোমাবলৈ চাই আছো ইন কালচাৰেল এছপেক্ট, কাৰণ মানস আৰু কাজিৰঙা ক'ত পৰি যায়? নেচাৰেলত. চ' কালচাৰেলত আমাৰ ইয়াত একো নাই. চ' কালচাৰেলত আমি কি সোমাব চাই আছো? দিছ পাৰ্টিকুলাৰ চৰাইডোজ অফ মৈদামছ অফ চৰাইডো. অ'কে, তো সেইটো আমি চাই আছো ইয়াত কৰিবলৈ. অ'কে, নেক্সট আহা, ষ্টেটছ আপ দ্য এণ্টে এগেইনষ্ট চাইল্ড মেৰেজ. অ'কে, চ' আমি জানো ৰিচেণ্টলি চাইল্ড মেৰেজৰ ওপৰত কিমানখিনি ষ্ট্ৰিক্ট আছিলে CM Himanta Biswa Sharma. Okay, and you can see this trajectory. ইয়াতে গোটেই ডাটা দিয়া আছে. Okay, this datas may be very important. Okay, কাৰণ এই নিউজটো বহুত বেয়াকে চলি আছে. Okay, বহুত বেছি বেয়াকে চলি আছে. তো ইয়াতে দেখাইছা ডিমা হাছাও, তিনচুকীয়া, গোলাঘাট. চ' ইয়াতে লোৱেষ্ট কোনটো হৈ আছে? ডিমা হাছাও 16.5. Okay, আৰু চবতকে বেছি চাইল্ড মেৰিজ ক'ত হৈ আছে? ইট ইজ বেচিকেলি অন ধুবুৰী. Okay, that is 50.8%, which is as expected. Okay, so ইয়াতে since we have got less literacy rate over here, okay, in Dhubri, so ইয়াতে আমি এটো expected আছিলে যে ইয়াতে সবতকে বেছি আমাৰ কি হ'ব? Child marriage to বহুত বেছি হৈ আছে. Okay, so you can see this one Dima Hasao, and we can see over here 50.8 is in Dhubri. So এই দুটা বহুত important হৈ যায়. Okay, also remember the respective values given over here 16.5 and 50.8. আৰু যদি মই আসামত কওঁ average 31.8%, that is also important. Okay, so ekita direct question সুধিব পাৰে যে what is the specific rate of child marriage as according to the NFHS 5 2019-20 of Assam. So it is 31.8. আৰু যদি সুধে less district Dima Hasao, more district Dhuburi. Okay, so that is very very important over here. So ইয়াতে যদি মই এবাৰ কওঁ about the menace of child marriage in our country, তো ইয়াতে কি হৈ আছে that the root cause of child marriage happens within a social and economic context embedded with a set of beliefs about the status of women and girls and their roles as wives and mothers. Okay, so today we can see that various peoples, they do not go for the education of their respective girl child, and they tries to directly marry them at a very sooner age. Okay, so in every category of time today we have seen that anyone who is basically of the age group below 18, okay, so below 18 কৰাৰ লগে লগে, so today who are basically 21 to 24 years age group, okay, ধৰি লোৱা আজি কোনোবা যদি 21-22 বছৰ বা 24 বছৰলৈ আহি গৈছে, so they have married, 90% of them have married before the age of 18, and today they have got around 2 to 3 children, and which directly impacts their respective health and also their respective well-being. So আজি এইটো জানো যে today Assam has got the highest maternal mortality rate throughout India. So therefore today every number of steps that has been taken by the chief minister is on the data which was very alarming. So here কোৱা গৈছে that chief minister explained how the central survey conducted between 2019 and 20 revealed an alarming 11.7% of the underage mothers or pregnant girls in the state, a figure much higher than the national average of 6.8%. য'ত 100 জনৰ ভিতৰত 6টা কেছ আছে আমাৰ গোটেই কাণ্ট্ৰিত, আমাৰ অসমত অকেলে 11 আছে. It's around 12%. So you can see that what is the rampant child marriage that is happening in our country, in our state. Okay, আৰু এইটো কাৰণে কি হৈ আছে? The highest number of maternal mortality rate and the infant mortality rates are in Assam. And therefore all these districts are directly coming under the respective scenario of the child marriages. So though India has got proper laws associated with the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act of 2017, but still this has been never been given due importance, and therefore such number of things are repeatedly getting occurred in our state. তো ইয়াতে এটা আমাৰ এক্টৰ কথা আছে, that is known as the POCSO. POCSO is also very important. So আমি জানো the POCSO directly came into effect in 2012. POCSO বহুত ইম্পৰ্টেণ্টলি চলি আছে, নিউজত সুধি দিব পাৰে POCSOৰ এগেইনষ্টে। আমি বেছিকৈ কনচেনট্ৰেট কৰি থাকিম ক'ৰ ওপৰত, চাইল্ড মেৰেজৰ ওপৰত, আৰু সুধি দিব POCSOৰ কথা। চ' POCSO is all in news. So please do remember, মই কৈ আছো POCSO কেতিয়া আহিছিলে? 2012ত আহিছিলে। And what is this act? This act has been enacted to protect children from offenses of sexual assault, sexual harassment, and pornography, and thereby to provide for establishment of special courts for trial of such offenses and related matters and incidents. So therefore, these provisions which were not covered under the Indian Penal Code are only specified under this POCSO. So therefore, today, even the amendment that was done in 2019, okay, it enhanced the punishment to include even death penalty for aggravated penetrative sexual assault of the child. If someone is sexually assaulting a respective girl child, and that is very much penetrative in nature, that is basically even liable to death penalty. আৰু এটো কেতিয়া আহিছিলে? With the POCSO Amendment Act of 2019. Okay, so এটো কাৰণে this things becomes very important, যে কি বস্তু চেঞ্জ হৈছিলে। Okay, so চোৱা, যেতিয়া মই POCSO Actৰ কথা কম, লাগিলে লিখি লোৱা তোমালোকে। অফেন্সেছ বুলি ক'লে POCSOৰ আণ্ডাৰত 5টা মেইন অফেন্স আছে। 5টা মেইন অফেন্স। So what are these 5 main offense? First offense to কি হয়? Use of child for pornographic purpose. Use of child for pornographic purpose. So এটো এটা first offense হৈ গ'ল। Okay, তাৰ লগত ৰেসপেক্টিভলি পানিশমেন্ট আছে। সাপোজলি এটো কাৰণে মিনিমাম 5 years আছে। সো হেবিলাক মই এটা কোৱা নাই, বাট মই অফেন্স গিটা কৈছো। সেকেন্ড অফেন্স কি আছে ইয়াতে? Use of child for pornographic purpose resulting in penetrative sexual assault. Pornographic purpose কাৰণে তুমি চাইল্ড এটা ইউজ কৰিলা, আৰু তাৰ কাৰণে যেতিয়া চাইল্ডক তুমি pornographic কন্টেন্টৰ কাৰণে ইউজ কৰি আছা, তেতিয়া you are going for penetrative sex, and at that point of time this is also respectively an offense. Okay, আৰু এটো কাৰণে লাইফ ইমপ্ৰিজনমেন্ট হ'ব পাৰে। Okay, now if I say about the third one, use of child for pornographic purpose resulting in aggravated penetrative sexual assault. Aggravated, basically saying about the conditions of sodomy. Okay, that is the anal intercourse. So ebila kola joli jua, then we can see that the third offense is directly coming under prominence. Aru yar karone it is basically death sentence is the extreme. Aggravated penetrative sexual assault, eto third offense hoy gol. Fourth offense to ki ahile? Use of child for pornographic purposes resulting in sexual assault. Okay, it was just simply sexual assault. Okay, মারপিট হ'ব পাৰে, বা তাইৰ যিখিনি ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট অৰ্গেনিক্স পাৰ্ট হয় সেই ছোৱালীজনীৰ সেইবিলাক চুব পাৰে। তো দিছ আৰ নৰ্মেল। So use of child for pornographic purpose resulting in sexual assault, normal. Okay, so ইয়াতেও আমাৰ আছে 6 years. Okay, recently এটো minimum 3 years কৰি দিলে, maximum 5 years কৰি দিলে। Okay, in 2019 এটো normal to. Then lastly, use of child for pornographic purpose resulting in most aggressive sexual assault. তাত মানে ধৰি লোৱা এজন মানুহৰ লগত সিমিট নাথাকে, ইয়াত বহুত ধৰণৰ মানুহ আহি পেলাই সেক্সুৱেল এছল্ট কৰিব পাৰে, এণ্ড দ্যাট ইজ এগ্ৰাভেটেড ষ্টেজ। অ'কে, চ' এইটোৰো আছে লাইফ ইমপ্ৰিজনমেণ্ট অৰ ডেথ। চ' এই 5টা অফেন্স আছে উইচ ইজ ভেৰি ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট উইথ ৰেচপেক্টিভ টু দিছ POCSO এক্ট। অ'কে, চ' এইটো কাৰণে POCSO এক্ট ইজ বেচিকেলি এনেকুৱা নহয়, এইটো আমি জানো যে ক্ৰাইম মেক্সিমাম গাৰ্লছৰ ওপৰত হয়, বয়জৰ লগত খুব কম হয়, বাট basically this POCSO Act is very much gender neutral. এটো মনত ৰাখিব লগা বস্তু। So POCSO Act is a gender neutral, and therefore it regards the best interest and welfare of the child as a matter of paramount importance at every stage of his life. Okay, also this POCSO Act is available to various number of vocational courses learned by a respective child. আজিকালি এইবিলাক স্কুলছত শিকোৱা গৈছে, কেনেকে? Through some of the vocational courses. Okay, so therefore we can see that this POCSO Act is all there to is all there to treat every individuals who are basically child with dignity. Also, they have the right to life and survival. Also, they have the right against discrimination. Also, they have the right to preventive measures. Also, they have the right to be informed. Also, they have the right to have a privacy. So therefore, POXO respects each and everything. Ekan thaba je jetia children, okay, are basically are maybe they are the assaulter, or they are maybe the punisher, or they are maybe the person who are basically assaulted by the other. So কেতিয়াও বাচ্চাৰ ফটোজ বিলাক কেতিয়াও মিডিয়াত নাহে, কেতিয়াও শো নকৰে, because it is against their respective privacy. Okay, so therefore we have to keep in mind about every rights that are given to a child under the POXO Act. Okay, so therefore today the POXO Act is very important. Because we have got a lot many number of rising cases of sexual abuse against children were are rapidly rising. Okay, then we can see about the robust justice mechanism. So we know about the system of today. The আজি যদি আমি adult as children এজনক as per as an adult মই যদি treat কৰিলো হেতেন, then it could be not be beneficial. So এটো কাৰণে আমি ইয়াতে এটা robust justice mechanism বনাবলে পোক্সৰ ইম্পৰ্টেন্সটো ইয়াতে আমি দিছো. Okay, so therefore today we have to see about that the need of the hour is to sensitize the public regarding the child sexual abuse, so that there is no reluctance in reporting this number of crimes. Also, the investigation agencies should be well trained, and also some of the professionals like the medical practitioners who are involved in the stage of investigation and trial should not leave any scope of negligence on their respective part when they are treating or they are reporting any number of physical elements with respective to that child. Okay, so this POXO Act, which was already made child friendly, okay, so yate child victims, the police officers, and even the persons who are attached with this particular case, eblak bostu ketiao mediat uliabo or mediat ketiao eblak release nohoy, because this may directly make, or this may directly psychologically, emotionally, even physically, it may directly hamper the respective child associated with that particular case. To hetu karone yate ami POXO Actor kotha jete ami ko, so this POXO Act is a very important aspect where even all such number of crimes against the child can be restricted with the interference of the government. And therefore today the government is basically trying to prevent every forms of child marriage through the provision of Child Marriage Act of 2006, also through the POXO Act. Okay, so etu aspect asile amar core in the recent government brief against the child marriage system. Okay, yat kisuman data ase, please do note this particular data, but ei data khini moi jitu koisu tar logot less to aru sobotke besi to is very very important. So please do remember these two respective datas. Okay, next, a guidebook initiative. Okay, yat iman etu korbo laga eku nai. So it's basically Dibrugarh district deputy commissioner Biswajit Pegu with officials during the launch of the guidebook. Okay, so it's basically a student guidebook. Okay, class 10 june porikha diye and all. Okay, so yat etu ulaisile, so it's nothing to be said. Then Gunotsav begins in Assam. Okay, so we all know about the Gunotsav. Okay, so Gunotsav is an important aspect where every schools is directly monitored. Okay, jitu amar schools bilak thake, so schools bilakok sob monitor kora jay, aru monitor koribole tat goi sai goi ministers jabo pare, officers jabo pare. So it's an initiative of the state government which focuses mainly on the assessment of learning outcomes of children for identifying learning gaps and subsequently designing remedial measures for improvement. Okay, so yate hedu karone Gunotsav yate pata jay kot in our state. Okay, so yate bahut khini bostu sai, performance of the school sai, co-curricular activities, curricular activities, availability and utilization of infrastructures, community participation, ek gute khini bostu ei Gunotsavot amar dekha pore. Okay, so etu karone etu recently solisile, hetu karone newsot ase, yat basically janibo laga iman eku nai. Okay, eta bostu mon rakhiba je Gunotsav 3ta phase hoy. Okay, so baki I don't think so yate kiba important aspect kiba ase. Okay, next, Assam on the move, government honors states civil heroes. So yate ami dekhisu Goala, an ASA worker, was buried neck deep in work during COVID when she was faced with a peculiar problem. She came across a teenage victim of sexual offense. Okay, so yate ami dekhisu Sheila Goala, Assam Gaurav paise. Okay, she was a ASHA worker. Okay, so hetu karone this particular awards also is very important. Okay, so we all know about this ASHA. that is she is accredited social health activist. Okay, so this accredited social health activist will mobilize the community and facilitate them in accessing health and health related services that are available at village or sub centers or primary health centers. So তেখেতসকলে কি কৰে, ইমিউনাইজেশ্যনৰ কাৰণে যায়, এণ্টিনেটাল চেকআপছৰ কাৰণে যায়, পোষ্ট নেটাল চেকআপৰ কাৰণে যায়, চেনিটেশ্যনছ আৰু আদাৰ ছাৰ্ভিচেছ যিবিলাক গভৰ্ণমেণ্টে প্ৰভাইড কৰে সেইবিলাক টু দ্য গ্ৰাছ ৰুট লেভেল তেখেতসকলে লৈ যায়। অ'কে, চ' দে হেভ গট আ গ্ৰেট ৰোল when they comes in terms of the service that is given to the respective society. Okay, so recently Sheila Gora has been given the Assam Gaurav. Our year report ami dekhisu chief ministers announced the names of 21 recipients of Assam Saurabh and Assam Gaurav. Okay, aru yate Assam Bhoibabu ase. So 5 personalities have been selected for the Assam Saurabh award this year. Krishna Roy, Girbratsan Sangma, Noyanmoni Soikia, okay, who was basically an Olympic medal winner. Then Dr. Binay Kumar Soikia, Sochidor Fukon, Healthcare and Public Service. Okay, then we can see about the Saurabh Award. Okay, so ইয়াতে যিমানখিনি এৱাৰ্ডছৰ কথা আছে এই এৱাৰ্ডছবিলাক ইয়াতে মনত ৰাখিবা। অ'কে, বেছি আমাৰ নালাগে, যিবিলাক বেছি বেছি আছে সেইবিলাক নালাগে, বাট যোনবিলাক কম আছে ছাপ'জলি 5 আছে, অ'কে 15টো আমাৰ ইমান দৰকাৰ নাই। অ'কে, চ' বাছ ইয়াতে আৰু এটা বস্তু ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট হৈ যায়, ছাপ'জলি এজ অসম বৈভৱৰ কথা কওঁ, ইট কেৰিজ আ কেছ প্ৰাইজ অফ কিমান 5 lakhs, ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট হৈ যায়। অ'কে, চ' আছাম সৌৰভ কেৰিজ আ কেছ প্ৰাইজ অফ 4 lakhs, ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট হৈ যায়। অ'কে, এণ্ড আছাম গৌৰৱ কেৰিজ আ ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট অফ 3 lakhs. অ'কে, চ' এইবিলাক বস্তু মনত ৰাখিবা। অসম ভৈৰৱ চবতকৈ বেছি 5 লাখ, অসম সৌৰভ 4 লাখ আৰু অসম গৌৰৱ 3 লাখ। অ'কে, চ' দিছ থিংছ বিকামছ ভেৰি ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট। তো ইয়াতে আমি দেখিছোঁ যে হিয়াৰ দেৰ আৰ 15 পাৰ্চনেলিটিজ। অ'কে, হিয়াৰ দেৰ আৰ 5 পাৰ্চনেলিটিজ। অ'কে, চ' সেইটো কাৰণে আমাৰ এইকেইটা বস্তু ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট হৈ যায় উইথ ৰেচপেক্টিভ টু দিছ এৱাৰ্ডছ দেট হেজ বিন গিভেন উইথ this particular aspect of Assam Gaurav, Saurabh and Assam Bhoibav. Okay, so please do remember all these respective awards that has been given recently with respective to this particular people. Okay, so yate ami gutekhini yate ase, so please do study once ebar pohile ebar dubar pohi jaba monot thaki jabo. Okay, no issue with that. Okay, so yate ami dekhisu that decided to confer the highest civilian honor Ahom Bhoibav Mumbai based practitioner Dr. Topon Soikia for his contribution towards cancer treatment. So Ahom Bhoibav ejon ase, baki bilak 5 jon, ephale 15 jon, please monot rakhiba. Okay, so এই অসম ভৈৰৱজন বহুত ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট হৈ যায়, তপন শইকীয়া। অ'কে, আৰু তেখেতৰ কণ্ট্ৰিবিউশ্যন ইন দ্য কেঞ্চাৰ ট্ৰিটমেণ্ট ক'ত আছিলে সেইটো আমাৰ এটা বহুত ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট এছপেক্ট হৈ যায় উইথ ৰেচপেক্টিভ টু দিছ এক্সামছ। অ'কে, চ' যেতিয়া আমি তপন শইকীয়াৰ কথা কওঁ, চ' হি ইজ বেচিকেলি এন অংকলজিষ্ট। অ'কে, চ' সেইটো বস্তু আৰু ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট হৈ যায়। হি ইজ দ্য হেড অফ দ্য মেডিকেল অংকলজি এণ্ড ৰিচাৰ্চ ডাইৰেক্টৰ, এণ্ড হি ইজ ৱৰ্কিং বেচিকেলি ইন দ্য মহাৰাষ্ট্ৰ এজ ইন আ মুম্বাই বেছড প্ৰেক্টিশ্যনাৰ। Okay, so hetu karone very importantly this Topon Soikia who has been given this Ahom Bhoibav award, so yat amar mono rakhibo lage about that he is basically an oncologist. So oncologist boli kole ki hol, a medical practitioner who is qualified to diagnose and treat tumors. So tekhete ki bhal kore, tumors bhal kore. Okay, aru tekhetok hekarone ami ki kওঁ, oncologist boli kওঁ. Okay, so therefore this things becomes very important, to ebilak sai loba. Next, slew of projects set to transform city. Okay, so ইয়াতে বহুতখিনি প্ৰজেক্টছ আমাৰ লগাইছে। অ'কে, চ' ইয়াত আমাৰ ইমান ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট এছপেক্ট নাই, ইয়াত ইমানখিনি প্ৰজেক্টছ আমি চাব নালাগে কি ক'ত কিমান কিমান লগাইছে, বাট ছাপ'জলি কিবা যদি ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট আছে আই কেন ডাইৰেক্টলি ফাইণ্ড ইট আউট। আই ডোণ্ট থিংক চ' হিয়াৰ ছাচ আ থিংছ হেজ বিন গিভেন। পূজন ৰূপনগৰ চলাইটি, অ'কে, চ' নাই, ইয়াতে আমাৰ ইমান ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট নাই। অ'কে, চ' ইয়াত জাষ্ট কৈছে যে কিমানখিনি আমি ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট প্ৰজেক্টছ হাতত লৈছোঁ। অ'কে, জাষ্ট এবাৰ চাব পাৰা 7 প্ৰজেক্টছ কি কি আছে। চ' ৰাজভৱনটো কনষ্ট্ৰাক্ট কৰিব ভালকৈ, অডিটৰিয়াম কৰিব, ছিটিং কেপাচিটি অফ 800, পুলিচ ৰিজাৰ্ভটো ভালকৈ বনাব, ইণ্টিগ্ৰেটেড ডেপুটি কমিশ্যনাৰ অফিচাৰ ৰূপনগৰ কৰিব, আনাদাৰ অডিটৰিয়াম উইথ ছিটিং কেপাচিটি অফ 5000 খানাপাৰা টু বি বিল্ড এট দ্য কষ্ট অফ ইমান, পুলিচ কমিশ্যনাৰেট বিল্ডিং এট খানাপাৰা, ইণ্টিগ্ৰেটেড ডাইৰেক্টৰেট কমপ্লেক্স এট বেতকুচি। চ' এইকেইটা এটা এটা প্ৰজেক্ট আছে। চ' ইয়াতে আমাৰ ইমান জানিব লগা ইমান একো নাই। Okay, so that is with the respective plan. A market that empowers. So IMAS in the Keithal market in Imphal. Okay, so etu hol eta বহুত important aspect of this particular market which is empowered by the women's. Okay, so etu eta women market hoy. Okay, that is the IMAS in Keithal market. Okay, so etu amar eta বহুত important market hoy jor pra ami eta inspiration draw koru. Okay, of the working ladies who are basically having some number of works in this respective particular market. Okay, so etu ami Manipurot pam in the middle of Imphal. Okay, aru yate bahut dhoroner ami ki pau even you can find fruits, you can find vegetables. Okay, so ইয়াত আমাৰ বহুতখিনি ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট ইয়াতে পোৱা যায়. So therefore you can see that attire in her traditional phanek and inapi. Okay, so it's basically a cloth that this particular ladies are wearing. Okay, phanek uportu, imapi tolortu. Okay, so therefore these are the things associated with this women who basically wears this traditional attire. Okay, so ইয়াতে আমাৰ ইমান জানিব লগা একো নাই, বাছ ইয়াতে বাছ এই মাৰ্কেটটোৰ কথা মনত ৰাখিবা. আৰু if you wants to remember something associated with this, ইয়াতে আমাৰ মনত ৰাখিব লগা, then you can see about that the area which is located, okay, in this respective area. So ইয়াতে আমি মনত ৰাখিব লাগিব যে how the women's are basically self empowered and is running the whole respective market. Okay, so ইয়াতে এই মাৰ্কেটখনৰ কথা কৈছে যে ইয়াত এম্পাৱাৰমেণ্টৰ কথা আহিছে. চ' কেতিয়াবা যদি উইমেন এম্পাৱাৰমেণ্টৰ কথা আহে, উইমেন এম্পাৱাৰমেণ্টৰ এছে আহে, ইউ কেন কোট দিছ ৰেচপেক্টিভ মাৰ্কেট ৱেৰ all women's are directly going with marketing activities, wearing even traditional attires like fanek and inapi. Okay, so ইয়াত এই বস্তুটো আমাৰ কাৰণে ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট হৈ যায়. আৰু এইবিলাক কোন ট্ৰাইবৰ মেইনলি আহে, ইয়াতে মেইটেই ট্ৰাইবছ থাকে. Okay, মেইটেই ট্ৰাইবছত ইমা মানে কি হয়, মাদাৰ হয়, আৰু কেইথেল মানে বাজাৰ. So it's mother bazaar. Okay, so therefore please remember all these respective elements that has been given over here. Okay, so yat hetu kothai koa ase. Then confluence of trust and tradition. Okay, so yate we can see about the Jagirot. Then we can see about the Bhumila Kharai of West Karbi Anglong district in inspecting of the last time her produce uh, in the meant for the Junbil Mela. So এটা জোনবিল মেলাৰ কথা কৈছে, about the traditionsৰ কথা কৈছে. Okay, so ইয়াত আমাৰ ইমান ক'বলগীয়াও একো নাই, বাট ইয়াতে আমি জানিব লাগিব অলপ চলপ about what the জোনবিল মেলা. Okay, so জোনবিল মেলা recently আমাৰ হৈ গ'ল. So we know that জোনবিল মেলা is a very important and a famous mela. Okay, which is having a 3-day annual indigenous Tiwa community fair that is held during the time of Magh Bihu at a historic place which is known as Doyong Belguri at Junbil. So it's around 3 kilometers from Jagirot in the Morigaon district. Okay, so therefore this Junbil Mela is very famous because it's a high-tech age barter system and perhaps the only fair in India where barter system is still alive. Okay, so yet all of Junbil Melar kotha koise. Also, various number of people have commented about this respective fest that has occurred in this recent times. Okay, Tiwa women kotha koise. Bas himane yat iman ami janibo laga beshi ekho nai. Just know about what is basically this Junbil Mela. Okay, lastly the Assam tableau at the Republic Day parade. Okay, so yat dekhisa Assam tableau at Republic Day parade. So this is a very important aspect of today's time. So jetia amar Assamor Republic Day parade Ahom warrior Lachit Borfukonok dekhwa goise because we are celebrating 400th birth anniversary of Lachit Borfukon. Okay, so he was on a boat and the view of Ma Kamakhya temple can also be seen. Okay, and this path is basically renamed to be what? Kartabya path. Okay, Kartabya path. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, so ইয়াত সেইবিলাকে দেখিছে তিৱা এইবিলাক জোনবিল মেলাত পিন্ধিছিলে তিৱা কছাৰী attires. Okay, so all these things chief minister safai karmacharis লগত খানা খাইছে. Okay, so this is basically then pushing for a healthy society. Okay, so we can see this MLA during a visit of his constituencies left the 7 candidates selected for APSC coaching. Okay, so we can see all these people. Okay, so ইয়াতে আমাৰ ৰাজীৱ লেখাৰু সাৰু আহিছে. Okay, so we have been providing. So yet hetu kotha koise that how an MLA is directly focusing much more towards the development of its respective constituency. So yate amar MLA Jholen Doimari dak dekha goise. Okay, so yate all these things are aspects of how this person is basically focusing towards the expenses related to my coaching and hostels are being provided by MLA sir. So you can see that how this particular man is directly making the process of development. Okay, so yet hekini kotha koise. Then departmental snapshots, cultural affairs department, director of information and public ignorance. Okay, then moidams of soraido kotha already ami kotha kolu. Okay, so nothing more than that. Okay, so yate ami end korisu aji ki this particular section of February edition of the Ahom Barta. Okay, so these things are very important in your upcoming prelims. Jekini important bostu ase hekini we have already discussed. Okay, so please do remember that such things should be remembered within the purview of what we have discussed. Okay, jetia news to pohiba jetia analysis koriba, always go for a deeper analysis of jaba. So jetia deeper analysis koriba bahut aspect of bostu bhabiba, then obviously slowly you will learn that particular aspect of learning every attributes of work. Okay, so thank you all for today who have joined this respective session. We'll come up with some of the more sessions with respect to Ahombarta as well as some of the current affairs. So I'm ending my session over here today. So that's all. Thank you and goodbye.